Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here tonight with Wheels America Racing Cup Series in the Flim Dogs Racing League. We are here at Dover for the Harpoon Design 200. Qualifying action has started right now. Joseph Mealy on the top of the board. Chris Essery second. Thomas Meeks third. Well, I'll tell you what, I was watching this guy in practice, Brian Samara in that 53 car. He is slow. He is young. I expect him to be in the back here tonight. But, folks, we're going to kick back, relax, enjoy some of these patented Hutchinson Motorsports TV tunes. We're going to be back for the start of this one in just a bit. Be sure to click the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Larry McReynolds has a message. Go ahead, Larry.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
And we are back here at Dover. Qualifying has concluded. It is official. Quick time. Frankie Barroso going to be on the pole here tonight. Second, we've got Dennis Ansman. Steve Tucker rounds out the top three. And it is time to get going and get the Harpoon Design 200 underway in just a minute. As our drivers are getting gridded up and ready to roll, we are just about ready, folks. Harpoon Design 200, let's get going. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Wheels America Racing Cup Series. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, Dover Motor Speedway. Tonight's starting lineup is as follows. On the front row in the pole position, the number 12, Frankie Barroso. On his outside, the number 8, Dennis Ansman. Row number 2 on the inside in, the number 1 machine, Steve Tucker. On his outside, the number 39, Joseph Mealy. Row number 3 on the inside, the number 20, Chris Essery on his outside, the 55, Thomas Meeks. Row number 4 on the inside in the 09, Derek Fye on his outside, the 88, Matthew Fleming. Row number 5 on the inside, you got the 41, Michael Kurzelik on his outside. The dirtiest driver in the business. Ladies and gentlemen, HMS TV's own Jesse Becker. Row number 6 on the inside, the 31, Brandon Shelton on his outside. In the 54, Brian Burchett. Row number 7 on the inside in the number 2 machine, Cody Keller on his outside. In the 5, William Robin. Jumping back to the 15 starting position in the 73, you've got Justin Malarkey on his outside, John Scoville. Row number 9 on the inside, the 53, he's slow, he's junk, he's from Team BCI, it's Brian Samara. On his outside, this guy can roast tires like no other. Ladies and gentlemen, HMS TV's own the 45, Christian Taylor. Row number 10 on the inside and the 29, Robert Song on his outside. He's bound to be complaining about somebody else's driver tonight. It's the 54, Josh Larson. Row number 11 on the inside, everybody's favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, the weapon is back. It's the number 48, Kerwin Marshall. On his outside, the 9, Michael James. We are green in the air. Green flag is out. Ladies and gentlemen, the Harpoon Design 200 is underway. Boy, that was one quick out lap. Short track racing here at Dover Motor Speedway. Frankie Barroso, your race leader, while Dennis Ansman holds on to second. Meanwhile, a battle for third. Joseph Mealy trying to hold off Steve Tucker and Chris Essery as they get single file. Let's jump around the field just a little bit. See where they're battling here. Take a look back here. Currently, you're taking a look at the number 23, Jesse Becker, trying to run down the 31 of Brandon Shelton. We're still clean and green. Ladies and gentlemen, Wheels America Racing Cup Series is underway here at Dover. Hard racing through the field. Let's see what's going on in the back, folks. The back always puts together the best race, and I tell you what, these guys junk each other every week back here. Dakota Collins, folks, I heard a rumor, and I did do extensive research to confirm this rumor, but Dakota Collins' uncle is actually Phil Collins. That's right, the famous drummer, Phil Collins. Dakota's nephew is out there. He's running 24th. He's kind of slow. Speaking of kind of slow, you got the 45, Christian Taylor, currently cruising in the 19th position. Let's hop on board with this slow DraftKings number 45 machine, Christian Taylor. My, oh my, he is going nowhere, folks. That's right, Christian Taylor in the 19th position. But let's jump back out front here. Frankie Barroso is putting it on him. He's about a second out front already with Dennis Ansman in second. Third place, still Joseph Mealy trying to hold off Chris Essery. I tell you what, that 20 machine of Chris Essery has had speed every single week. Last week had some bad luck, had a bad finish, but I believe he was your pole sitter before everything went south. Meanwhile, jumping back, Flim Dogs owner Matthew Fleming cruising in the 9th position out of Van Wert, Ohio. They're single file through most of the field. First battle on the track is right here. Cody Keller on that high side, making a pass around Jack Scoville. Track is slick out here tonight, folks. Expect to see some tire wear for sure as Cody Keller cruising in the 14th position. Justin Malarkey right behind him in 15. Oh, hard into the wall. Who was that? Trying to find out who just smokes the wall. I think that was the 11. A Dakota Collins, maybe? I don't know. I could be wrong. I have no clue who it was. Somebody's hard into the wall. Looked like it was the 11, though. We'll keep an eye out, see how things go. Let's jump back around up front. Brandon Shelton in the 10th position as all our leaders are single file. First battle is back here for the 21st position. Christian Taylor continues to fall further back. Meanwhile, Brian Samara in the 17th position out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. Brian Samara has no speed here tonight at Dover. Let's pull up some race information here for you, folks. That is not the right screen. Try this one. There we go. Dover Motor Speedway. Track temp at 108 degrees. It is getting hot out there on the racing surface. Expect to see some cars sliding around by the end of this run. Stages are going to be, the first one's going to end at the end of lap 59. So starting lap 60. Then we're going to go to 120. So it's going to be interesting how this thing plays out. Frankie Barroso dominating out front. Last week's winner trying to go back to back here in the Flim Dogs Racing League Wheels America Racing Cup Series. It's like we got a battle here for the 10th position between Brandon Shelton and William Robbins. We know Robbins always has some fans in the chat. Let's see if they're out there tonight. I haven't tuned in here. Let's take a look. We got Dustin Corley out there. He's pulling on the 48, the weapon of Kerwin Marshall. I am too, Dustin. Tell you what, these drivers do not like the 48 because he's out there junking people every week, but I love him. Let's see how he's doing. He's a lap down already, so I think he had to serve a penalty, if I'm not mistaken. Can you believe they're blaming this guy for some wrecks? That's unbelievable, isn't it? Dustin Corley can relate to that, man. That's crazy talk. Don't worry, a long way to go. Kerwin Marshall can get that lap back, hopefully get up to the front, maybe junk some of these guys, give us something to see. But we'll jump back around the track here. The Van Wert Ohioan Matthew Fleming in the top 10, trying to reel in Michael Kurzelik, going further back in the 18th position. Robert Masson trying to hold off Josh Larson in that 19th spot. I'm sorry, he's in the 51. Taking a look, Steve Tucker started in the 3rd spot. He's currently running 5th, trying to find some speed. Steve Tucker, boy, last night was a big night for Steve Tucker. We broadcast an IMSA series, you know, the multi-class IMSA racing, and Steve Tucker actually brought home a GT3 class championship. Impressive run for Steve Tucker, got the job done, parked it in victory lane. We were at Le Mans last night. Well, he's over here in Dover. Not gonna lie, this place is kind of a dump compared to where we were last night. That was in the Motor City Racing League. Steve Tucker pulls off a big championship. Well, he's probably not going to be winning any championship here tonight because he's sitting in the 5th spot. Dropping back a couple spots, Derek Fye in that 7th position in that 09 machine. Let's hop on board with your 7th place car out of York, South Carolina, Derek Fye. Fye continues to run single file there, trying to find some speed to get around these guys. Let's see how old Bump and Run Jesse Becker's doing right now. Sitting right there comfortably in the 12th position out of Southport, North Carolina. Bump and Run Jesse Becker in that number 23 machine. Jumping back here to the 25th position out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, Michael Lanfear. Not a lot of speed you see out of this 13 car, but he's doing the best he can. Speaking of not much speed, the 00 of Gabriel Garcia out of San Bernardino, California. Sitting in that 26th position. He needs to get on the gas here tonight. Let's hop on board, try to figure out why this 00 is struggling here at Dover. In the chat, we got a lot of Kerwin Marshall fans out here. You know, there was some questions why he was down pit road to start the race. He had to serve a penalty because can you believe it, folks? They claim he caused some wrecks a couple weeks ago. Boy, that's crazy talk, I think. Kerwin Marshall has done no such thing in that prime number 48 machine. He's just waiting for that caution so he can get the wave around. So currently a lap down. Leader's coming up on him, though. He does not want to fall 2 laps down. This is a long stage, folks. About 60 laps here for stage number 1. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. But Frankie Barroso, your race leader. We are clean and green. Haven't had a caution yet here tonight. Good racing so far through the field here at Dover. I believe they call it the Monster Mile. I call it a dump. But here, lap number 22 with the Wheels America Racing Cup Series with Flim Dogs Racing League. You're taking a look at Josh Larson in that 51 machine. See what else we got going on through the field. Really not much. You know, everybody's being pretty friendly right now. Single file through basically the whole field. So you know what? Let's pull up some race information for you. Take a look here. Your HMS TV hard charger board right now. J.R. Schomburg, your hard charger, up to the 19th position after starting 5 spots back all the way in the 24th spot. Schomburg is your hard charger. We got Bednar's in the 21st position, also up 5 spots, and Mitch Diamond in the 23rd spot, also up 5 positions. And take a look here on the board. Your last 5-lap average, the fastest car on the track currently, Steve Tucker. Average lap time 24.50 in these last 5 laps. There you have it. Let's take a look at the HMS TV quick time board. Of course, your race leader, Frankie Barroso, has the quick time with a 23.52 lap time earlier on. Well, let's take a look at some tire fall off here, folks. So already, look, we're already 26 laps into this race. We've already got a second of tire fall off. That's kind of crazy, folks. So these tires are wearing quickly. This is a mile track. A second of tire fall off in 26 laps is pretty crazy here tonight at Dover. So tires are going to play a big game here tonight. We're not even, well, yeah, we're actually right about halfway done almost with this stage in the Harpoon Design 200 with the Wheels America Racing Cup Series. Check out Wheels America Racing, folks. Some of the best in the business. You definitely got to get over to their website. Just give it a quick Google. You'll be able to find it. Wheels America Racing. They do a lot to help put on this series. And here we are at the Dover Monster Mile with the Harpoon Design 200. If you're looking for a paint scheme, folks, look no more. Head on over. HarpoonDesign.com. Brentley Road TradingPaints.com's #1 rated painter. Get you a paint. They start at just $25. There's really no excuse, folks. Jim Evans in the chat rooting for Chris Essery. We've got the Robbins family out there pulling for William Robbins. Who else we got? We got Colton Parsons. He says he's got a feeling the weapon is about to show you why he's got the nickname. I agree, Colton. I am pulling for this kid right here, Kerwin Marshall. You know, you're supposed to be, at least, you know, I'm going to be honest. A week or two ago, another league, a driver was unhappy with my commentary. They said, Blake, you're supposed to be unbiased as a broadcaster. I looked at him, I said, you know what? I am, but I am not going to be unbiased because I'm pulling for Kerwin Marshall. I want him to win the race, and I want him to junk any car that gets in his way. Let's see what the 48 of Kerwin Marshall can do. Here in a lap number 30. Come on, Kerwin, get on the gas. Race leader coming up behind him, though. He does not want to go 2 laps down here. That would put him in a really bad spot. A caution coming out would really help him because I don't think he's going to be able to make it to the end of this stage. We still got, I don't know, what, 28 laps left before the end of this stage. I doubt he can hold off Frankie Barroso that long. But we jump back here to the 15th position. Brian Samara out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. Again, most of the field seems to be single file. Let's pull up your HMS TV manufacturer standings. So right now in the Fords, Frankie Barroso in a Ford. He is your top running Ford, obviously. There are 6 Fords on the track right now. Average running position 14.0 for the Fords. Meanwhile, in second, you got Dennis Ansman. He's your top running Chevy. 17 Chevys out there, a bunch of homers. I tell you what, these Chevy fans get on my nerves. But Dennis Ansman in that second position. And then in the Yoders, you got Chris Essery in the fourth spot. 6 Toyotas, average running position, 16.3, folks. The Toyotas are slow here tonight. Uh-oh, Dustin Corley in the chat says the weapon said he's coming after William Robbins. That is bad news for William Robbins. Right now, Robbins sitting in the 11th position. He better stay clear of that 48 machine of Kerwin Marshall. Let's hop on board with William Robbins. Oh, look out. They're giving this guy the bumper. They're trying to junk each other up here. William Robbins going to take a spot, though. Looks like Matthew Fleming's got into the 31 there of Brandon Shelton. Robbins licking his chops, says, get out of the way, loser. He's going to make the pass, try to take over this 5th position. No, he's not going to make the pass, so he's not going to get it. So Fleming holds on to the 10th spot. Let's jump around the track a little bit more here. See what we got going on. Brian Samara still in the 15th spot, I believe. Landon Bednar's sitting in 20th. I tell you what, this guy right here out of Victoria, Texas, it's been an up and down season for him, and mostly down. Because he's been junking that race car about every week. Let's see if Landon can figure something out, get that thing up to the front. Looks like a battle for second slowly developing here. Joseph Mealy has taken over the spot. Dennis Ansman falls back into third. Chris Essery fourth. Steve Tucker rounds out your top 5 here in lap number 37. Folks, we're going to take a quick break going HMS TV side by side. Click that like button on the video for us. Subscribe to the channel. Larry McReynolds has a quick message for you first. Go ahead, Larry.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchison Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
We are back here at the Harpoon Design 200 at the Monster Mile in Dover. You're watching the Wheels America Racing Cup Series right here on the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. 13 laps to go until the stage is over, folks. We appreciate you tuning in. Be sure to click that like button on the video for us first off. Secondly, click that subscribe button. Drop a comment. Let us know who you're pulling for. Who's going to win this thing? Who's going to junk it other than the 48? Well, we got all kinds of chatter going on in the chat. We appreciate all of you. We got Mace Bush says, let's see, I need to see him cause a little chaos. I agree, Mace, 100%. Who else we got out there? Obviously, Dustin Corley, Brad McPeak out here pulling for the 48 of Kerwin Marshall. He is definitely a fan favorite here tonight. Here he is, folks. Currently in the 27th position. Still just, he's 2 laps down, folks. That's unfortunate. And he's not even going to get the lucky dog, so he's kind of toast. He is kind of toast right now. Needs some wrecks because right now Collins would get that lucky dog if the caution came out. So we'll see how this plays out for the 48 of Kerwin Marshall. Long way to go. Let's see if he can get himself into the lead lap, cause some chaos. Taking a look at Steve Tucker in that 4th position. He is hard charging right now. Looks like he had a slow start, but he's figured something out. 10 laps left to go here at the end of stage #1. Meanwhile, Brad Sheldon in the 10th position. He's been holding on strong right there all night long. Let's pull up once again your HMS TV hard charger board. Mitch Diamond, your hard charger, in the 20th position right now. Started 28th. Here he is in 20th in that bad fast number 65 machine. Tell you what, though, that paint scheme is hideous, don't you think? Big Lions fan. Makes me sick to my stomach. Ugh. Get that off there. Take a look. Thomas Meeks out of San Antonio. He's got the San Antonio karting complex on his car there. One of the best karting complexes. Actually, he has Wheels America on the car. Sorry about that. I was looking at another car on my other screen. He's got Wheels America Racing on the screen here. Thomas Meeks cruising in the 5th position. Let's take a look, though. Your HMS TV fastest last lap. Looks like Michael Landfair, actually the fastest car on the track, in the 23rd position. That's kind of interesting. Keep an eye on this guy. Finding some speed out of nowhere as Robert Hassan takes that spot. So 6 laps left to go here in stage #1 with the Harpoon Design 200 here at the Monster Mile, Dover Motor Speedway, world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Before this stage ends here, one more time, we're going to jump over to Larry McReynolds. He really wants to tell you something. Go ahead, Larry.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright, then the stands are packed.
And we're back here. Eli Reeves in the chat, also ready, or he's rooting for the 48 of Kerwin Marshall. Boy, he's got a lot of fans out here. He's definitely the fan favorite in the chat, and I can see why. He's my favorite, too. But Frankie Barroso has dominated this race. He started in the 1st position. Well, folks, nothing's changed. He's been in first every single lap, and he's got a 3.5-second lead on your second-place car of Joseph Mealy. Steve Tucker's into the 3rd position, gets around Dennis Ansman in 4th. Thomas Meeks 5th. Then you got Chris Essery in 6th, followed by Derek 5, Matthew Fleming, Brandon Shelton, and William Robbins. Rounds out your top 10. Look out. Almost junks it. Man, a big scare into the wall goes Robbins. This car is junk. William Robbins almost got to the end of the stage. Well, something just happened, folks. The Virginia native, William Robbins, way off pace. We are still green, folks. 2 laps left to go. Robbins trying to limp that thing to the end of the stage. Can he make it 2 more laps? Well, he does not want to have to pit because then he'll go multiple laps down probably. He is struggling to keep this thing rolling, folks. He might be able to make it here. No, he's not. Here's your race leader, Frankie Barroso. Coming up on some lap traffic. Barroso trying to put these guys a lap down. There's Robbins, falls a lap down. Going to get to the end of this stage, but he is going to be a lap down again. He's going to get down to the apron. Frankie Barroso, your race leader, going through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. So there is the green and white checkered flag. Frankie Barroso, stage 1 winner. We're going to wait for, I think, probably the top 10 to finish before we throw the caution. And there it is. There's a caution. Jesse Becker takes home the 10th spot there for the stage. So there you have it. Frankie Barroso, your leader. Joseph Mealy, Steve Tucker rounds out your top 3 podiums. So we're going to round them up, head down pit road, get these guys some tires. And we'll be back in a moment, folks. We're going HMS TV side by side. Click that like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel so I have to quit, or so I can quit bugging you. We'll see you in a bit. And we're back here at the Harpoon Design 200 with the Wheels America Racing Cup Series at Dover. Race off of pit road, not much changed out front. Frankie Barroso, your race leader. Joseph Mealy on his outside in the front row. Field is set. We're just about ready to get back rolling here at the Monster Mile. Stage number 2 going to start. We saw Frankie Barroso dominate stage 1. Let's see if he can do the same here for stage number 2. So the pace truck is in. Field is set in front of a sold-out crowd. They're on their feet, off their seats. Green flag back in the air at Dover. Boy, we haven't had any cautions for wrecks yet. The only caution so far was the end of stage number 1. We saw William Robbins smoke the wall, ended up going a lap down. Currently, he's back here in the 23rd position, still pinned 1 lap down. Good news for him, you know, we will have another stage break here in about 55 laps or so. So if he can just keep his nose clean, he'll be in a good spot to get back in this race. But Frankie Barroso, way out front, jumps out like a rocket ship. This number 12 machine might be illegal. Joseph Mealy with a solid night so far. He's been second or third all night long. Currently sitting in that second spot with Steve Tucker in third. Going back to fourth here, we got Thomas Meeks in that 55 machine. And then behind him, Dennis Ansman in the 8. In the 6th position, we've got Chris Essery here in that 20 machine. And how about this? After a good pit stop for once, Jesse Becker up to the 7th spot. Good to see Jesse Becker working through the field a little bit. Normally his pit stops are terrible because he cannot stop in his pit stall. I tell you what, I've been racing with this guy for years, and it's just always been his Achilles heel. He goes to stop in the pit stop, and he just keeps sliding and overshoots it every single time. Well, he figured it out that last pit stop. Right now he's in the 7th spot. Going back to 8th here, you got Michael Kurdzlik in the 41 machine. In 9th, you have Robert Hussong, and rounding out the top 10, Matthew Fleming. So there you have it. Time to pull up the HMS TV battle board. Take a look. Closest battle on the track. There's really not any, nobody side by side on the whole track, I feel like. Let's confirm. A close battle right here. This is the only side by side battle on the track. Justin Malarkey in the 11th position, trying to make a pass for 10th. Looks like he's not going to get the run quite yet, but the 73 going to try to hold him off. I'm sorry, 73 is Malarkey. So the 65 underneath him, that's Mitch Diamond. But we'll take a look around the track a little bit. Got Derek Fye in that 14th position out of York, South Carolina. These guys racing friendly. They know that we got some massive tire wear here tonight at the Monster Mile. Harpoon Design 200. Speaking of which, let's hop up to our eyes in the sky. The Harpoon Design blimp. Brantley Roden is flying that blimp right now, folks. Head on over. Tonight's race sponsor and a channel sponsor, Harpoon Design. HarpoonDesign.com. Paint start at just $25. If it's NASCAR related or dirt related, Brantley Roden can hook you up. So quit looking like junk out there on the track. Even if you're slow, you can at least look fast with just $25. What a deal. Meanwhile, this guy's gone nowhere all night long. Brian Samara in that 53 machine. Let's take a look here. You know what? Time to fire up the HMS TV drone. Let's see if I can get a connection out there, folks. Here it is. All right, got the HMS TV drone flying around. We're taking a look at Brian Samara in the 18th position. This guy has just been in the way all night long. Let's take a look at this paint, though. A little different here. You got the Edmund Fitzgerald 50th anniversary 53 scheme. I don't know what that is, but not too shabby there, Brian, if he actually made it. He might have just stole that paint online, not going to lie. A telltale sign, folks. Normally you can tell if somebody made a paint if their name's over the door. Well, I don't see a name on the door. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Samara stole this paint. Confirmed. Heading back up towards the front, Joseph Mealy trying to hold off Steve Tucker in a battle for second. We're on lap number 74 out of 200 here tonight. We're going to have a stage break here in, I don't know, what's that, 45 laps or so. Frankie Barroso, he's trying to lead every single lap here tonight. Might just be able to do it. Take a look. Barroso's led every lap so far. 75 in the books. Well, 75 of them were led by Frankie Barroso. Let's check out the chat, see what we got going on. Dr. Relief in the chat. That's Dylan Carrier. He is in the Redemption iRacing Truck Series. Folks, if you're looking for a Saturday night league, hit up Dr. Relief right there. He can hook you up. Rumor has it Redemption iRacing Truck Series is recruiting. And Dylan, I heard a spot opened up recently from somebody who wasn't too happy with yours truly. You can confirm. Oh, and actually, I'm looking at the chat right now. Dr. Relief actually mentioned the guy, Chris Stange. Well, since he said the name, I didn't bring it up. He did. Chris Stange is the guy who got mad at me. He said that broadcasters are supposed to be unbiased, and I should basically, kiss as you know what. Well, folks, that's not what we do here at Hutchinson Motorsports TV. I called it how it was. He caused a wreck, and he did not like it. Let's see what else we got going on here. Is Derek Fye in the 14th position out of York, South Carolina. Grant Hussey out there in the chat. Who is Grant pulling for? Oh, we got another Kerwin Marshall fan. Well, I tell you what, I've never seen somebody have so many fans for running basically last. Here he is. Take a look at him. Let's get a Kerwin Marshall check. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, the weapon himself. He's 2 laps down. He needs some cautions. He needs some guys to start wrecking. And you know the best way to do that? To cause the wrecks yourself. You need to start junking some people. Kerwin Marshall needs to get out there, find the closest car, maybe right hook him into the wall. Even a left hook might be okay. Just got to spin him out. Meanwhile, we've got Danielle Taylor in the chat. Christian Taylor's wife right now. Christian in the 19th position out of Leland, North Carolina. Currently resides in Delco, North Carolina. Well, I tell you what, this kid, Christian Taylor, he is not a fan of Delco, North Carolina. He slanders that town way more than I ever could. Typically I like slandering people's hometowns. Well, I mean, Christian's done it better than I could have ever done it, so we're not even going to go there. But how about this guy right here? Bump and run, Jesse Becker in the 9th spot. One of my fellow Hutchinson Motorsports TV co-broadcasters. You can see Jesse Becker on Wednesday nights. He's on the call with the GLSR Mr. Radiator trucks, as we have 2 streams going on at the same time on Wednesdays. I'm always doing the Superstar ARCA Cup series while Jesse and Christian are handling the GLSR Mr. Radiator trucks. Jam-packed schedule here on HMS TV. Right now, one league just ended. We had 7 leagues on 6 different nights. But our Sunday night league just finished the season. They're going to start back up here in a month or so. So it's going to be nice. A few weeks we're going to get an extra night off. We don't get many here. But folks, check out the video here in the description. You're going to see a link to our Discord channel. Definitely want to join that up. Every Friday night we do an HMS TV Dash for No Cash fun race. No points or any of that stuff. No damage. We do multi-class racing. We rotate. We'll do an IndyCar race, which was last week. Then we do multi-class, and then we do the truck series on super speedways. So definitely a fun time. So check that out. Again, in the video description, you're going to see a link to the Discord. Join today. We're going to stay tuned right here as Jesse Becker's trying to hold off the 29 machine. That is Robert Hassong underneath him. Looks like he's going to hold him off in the 8th position. So you got Hassong right there beneath him. Then you have Matthew Fleming right beside him as well. So 3 or 4 cars duking it out there for 8th through 12th. But let's jump back out front. This man has been dominating this race all night long. It's Frankie Barroso. We're almost halfway home through stage number 2. Brad McPeak out there in the chat. Says last time he came to the pit, he downed 3 shooters and shotgunned a beer. So rumor has it the 48 of Kerwin Marshall, he's not sober tonight, folks. And it does not surprise me, honestly. Dustin Corley says he needs a T-shirt fundraiser for the weapon. I definitely agree with that. Danielle Taylor, Connor Gerard obviously out here. Connor, let us know, what is this intense meter at? If you're new here, folks, the Connor Gerard intense meter, every week he lets us know how intense these races get. It is a scale from 0 to 20, and folks, just about every week it breaks 20. I've seen it go up to 1,000,000. Pretty impressive stuff there, honestly. Nobody can check out the intensity like Connor Gerard. Cody Keller in the 2 car, out there in the 20th position. He is field filling here tonight, it looks like. William Robbins back there in the 21st spot. Again, William just being patient at this point. There's really no reason for him to rush through the field. All he's worried about doing is being the lucky dog when the caution comes out, and right now that is exactly where he would be. Going through the field's really not going to help him, so if you're William Robbins, you're just kind of riding, waiting to get your lap back. Looks like we've got 22 fans watching here tonight and only 4 likes. Wow, that math does not add up, folks. Because if all 22 people watching have clicked that like button on the video, I believe we'd have more than 4 likes. Is that right? I have to double check my math on that. And Connor Gerard says the intense meter is at 10,000 out of 20. That's right, folks. 10 million. I didn't see those extra zeros. That's the highest it's ever been, folks. You heard it here first, folks. The Wheels America Racing League right here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV at the Dover Monster Mile Harpoon Design 200 intense meter has reached 10 million because the 48 is out there looking to make some chaos. Well said, Connor. You know what, though? All the hype, Kerwin Marshall hasn't really done anything spectacular yet. Why has he not junked anybody? What is he waiting on? Let's hop on board. He needs to get up there to that 11 car and just dump him. Don't you think? You're running out of time, Kerwin. You're not living up to your name. Oh, he's flashing a little bit here. It looks like he is having some connection problems. Should be all right, though. Yeah, he's still out there. We're good. Don't worry. But meanwhile, Steve Tucker in that 3rd position out of Boston, Massachusetts, trying to run down Joseph Mealy for 2nd. Thomas Meeks still in 4th. And in 5th, Dennis Ansman. We're on board with Dennis Ansman in the 5th position. Behind him, you see the 20 machine of Chris Essery trying to reel him in. Let's pull up your manufacturer standings one more time. So take a look here. The Fords, Frankie Barroso out front. He's your leader. There's 6 Fords out there, average running spot of about 10. Toyotas, you got Steve Tucker in 3rd. Average running position of 14.8. And then in the Chevys, Joseph Mealy in 2nd. But man, those Chevys are junk. Average running position is 16.9. Folks, it's time. Actually, hang on. Let's see if we can do it. No, we can't. We do not have a Harpoon design bring the noise. But it's time to peep the paints. We haven't done that in a while. Let's take a look at some of these paint schemes here, folks. Harpoon Designs, peep the paints. Take a look at what we got. All right, let's take a look here, folks. There you have Michael James in that number 9 machine. That's a good-looking paint job. Got Oasis on the paint. I believe he stole that one from Train Paints. I've seen that one before. Good-looking paint, though. Here's Jesse Becker. This one is actually a Harpoon Designs paint. Brantley Roden did make this one from scratch, believe it or not. If you don't believe me, take a look here, folks. I can prove it right now. One second. So look, a lot of people say, oh, I've seen that on Trading Paints. He stole that. Well, nope. Take a look there. You see the name on there? Jesse Becker had Brantley Roden edit that. He put Jesse Becker on there, and you see the HMS TV right there. Got Storm Motorsports on the back. That's who Jesse drives for when he's not calling for Hutchinson Motorsports TV, the world's #1 streaming service. A little bit of right front damage there for Jesse. And there you have it. The Mobile 1 on the car. So we continue to peek the paints. Let's take a look at Derek Fye. What's he got on the scheme? Let me take the drone out here. The 09 here, Derek Fye. Got the Tay Fye Artist. Stinger Motorsports. That's definitely a unique paint job. I'm liking it. How about this kid right here, Kerwin Marshall? Got the Amazon Prime on it. And look, his name is not on there. He stole this paint online, folks. That's right. Kerwin Marshall, he stole it. He keeps flashing. disconnecting here. Meanwhile, let's take a look at Paul Shaw. You see Paul Shaw on there. He made this paint job. You got Octavio Barros on the paint, whatever that is. I don't know. Wind Creek Event Center. Man, that's my favorite event center, I tell you what. Yeah, that'll conclude our Harpoon Design Peep the Paint session. A lot of good-looking paints out here. If you're struggling to find a paint job, folks, look no more. HarpoonDesign.com. They start at just $25. Oh, look out. Here comes a Harpoon Design blimp. Here's a quick flyby by Brantley Roden. Eli Reeves, Dustin Corley, Brad McPeak, all kinds of fans out here for Kerwin Marshall in that 48 car. Hopefully he can figure something out and get to the front. Mace Bush also out here pulling for Kerwin Marshall. Well, let us know in the chat who you pulling for if I miss your favorite driver. We'll take a look at him as Frankie Barroso just continues to dominate this race. He's led every lap so far. Stage number 2 still underway. 15 laps remain here till we do our last stage break of the evening at the Harpoon Design 200 at the Dover Monster Mile. Let's go side by side real quick. HMS TV side by side. Take a quick break. HMS TV, world's #1 streaming service. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll be right back. And we're back here at the Harpoon Design 200. 6 laps to go here for stage number 2. Man, this has been some clean racing here tonight. A lot better racing than last week, I might add. But right now, you're taking a look at Mitch Diamond in the 13th position. Again, Frankie Barroso's been dominating. Look out, the 48 of Kerwin Marshall smokes the wall. He's trying to be the star of the show here, folks. He wants to junk it. He just got lapped again. 3 laps down, the 48 of Marshall. Let's see if he's got these guys in his rearview mirror on his radar and he wants to junk them. Let's stay tuned right here, folks. Going to be 4 laps to go here for stage number 2. Is Kerwin Marshall going to junk these guys battling for second? Here they come sneaking up on the weapon, Kerwin Marshall. Neely and Tucker continue to battle for second. Going to be 3 laps to go until the stage break. Let's hop on board with Steve Tucker looking to the outside. The weapon going to let him go by, it looks like. Horn of the wall he goes. Oh, look out! This guy is dangerous out there. Rumor has it he's drunk, and I believe it. Kerwin Marshall, he is deadly. Didn't junk anybody else that time, but it is coming, folks. Trust me. It's just a matter of time. Meanwhile, Thomas Meeks back here in the 4th position. Running out the top 5, Chris Essery. So Barroso out front and cruise control leading this race, putting guys a lap down. Really has no challengers, it looks like. I'm just going to be honest, folks. You may as well throw the checkered flag. Frankie Barroso, 1 lap to go until stage number 2 is over. Dustin Corley in the chat says the drinks are starting to catch up to Kerwin Marshall, and we can definitely tell. I don't think he stopped drinking when this race started, it appears. But coming out of turn 4, it's going to be the white and the green and white checkered Frankie Barroso. It's going to sweep the stages. So there you have it, Frankie Barroso, stage 2 winner. We're going to throw the caution here in just a second. There it is. Brian Samara bringing home a 10th place run. It's going to be Barroso, Mealy, Tucker, Meeks, and Essery, your top 5. We're going to take a quick break, watch these guys rack them up, head down pit lane. Real quick, Larry McReynolds, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchison Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
And folks, we're back here. Looks like some trouble down pit road. Frankie Barroso might have had a penalty or something. So tonight's heavy favorite, he has led every lap so far. Well, I don't know what just happened. Looks like he is basically the last car on the lead lap. Let's see if we can get him in here real fast. Frankie Blake up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Hey, after leading every lap so far, looks like he had some trouble down pit road. We were just wondering what happened.
I'm a dummy and I got busted for speeding.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Thankfully, though, there's still a long way to go. You definitely have the speed to get back up to the field, but definitely going to be a little scary back there.
Yeah, man. It should be fun.
Yeah, well, hey, we wish you the best of luck. I'll head you back up to your team.
Okay, thank you.
There you have it, Frankie Barroso, your race leader. I kind of suspected that. Looks like he was speeding. That is unfortunate, man. He led every lap so far. Speeds down pit road when he's already the leader. My, oh, my. Hopefully that is not the end of his race. Still has a long way to go, though. 77 laps or so left to go. But out front, it's going to be Joseph Mealy on the inside. Steve Tucker on the outside. Pace truck is in. Field is set. Green flag back in the air at the Harpoon Design. 200. Look out! Oh, no! Brian Samara hard into the infield wall. He is junk. We are still clean and green. No here. Caution is out. Brian Samara, let's see what happened. All right, let's take a look here. So here's the restart. 65 gets up. Yeah, 65 just runs him over. Yeah, I mean, that's just all on the 65 there. I know he probably wanted Samara to be up closer on the bumper. But again, I mean, leaving a half a car link isn't a big deal. You can't just run a guy over for it. So there you have it. 65 just flat out junks Samara. I think there's a pile up behind here. Let's take a look. So Samara hard into the wall. Oh, no, he comes up the track and junks the 29. Samara says, if I'm getting junked, you're getting junked too. He floors it, goes right, and junks the 29. I believe that's Robert Hassan. Let's take a look one more time right here with the caution is out, by the way. Going up to the chopper, Samara down there. He floors it, turns right. Here you go. Wham! 29 junk. And there's Kerwin Marshall. Wow, he didn't hit anybody, I don't think. That's a miracle. Oh, hang on. Here's a little bump. Here's a little bump here to the 2. Wham! He tried to junk him. That's intentional. That's intentional, folks. We got the Kerwin Marshall fan club in here. Let's hop on board. He's trying to junk somebody. Here it is. Look, these guys are stopped. What is he doing? He's trying to jump the stars, what he's doing. Wham! There you have it. So, caution is out. Joseph Mealy, your race leader. Let's check out the chat, see what's going on. What do we got in the chat going on? Brad McPeak tuned in. Steve Tucker said, oh, Frankie was speeding. Yeah, we saw that. Steve, Dustin Corley, he's pulling for the weapon. Kerwin Marshall. That was our first real wreck of the race, I'd say. So we're going to rack them up, try it again. Again, it's going to be Tucker on the outside, Mealy on the inside. Frankie Barroso, again, he's the last car on the lead lap. Didn't gain any spots there on that short restart. So he's in 18th. Again, he has plenty of time. We know he's got the car for it. And there's going to have to pit again, I assume. So long way to go here. Let's see if these guys can figure something out. You know what, folks? He's still on the payroll. Jesse Becker, he's out here racing tonight. Well, you know what, Jesse? You still got to work. We're going to pull Jesse in the booth. Jesse thinks he gets the night off because he's racing. Well, I got other news for you, Jesse. Jesse Blake up in the booth. You got a copy?
Got you loud and clear.
Hey, you know, again, I was telling the fans, you know, you probably expected to have the night off. Well, you're still on the clock. You got to do some reporting. What are you seeing out there on the track?
Just a bunch of really tight race cars. It's all about keeping the right front on the car, and if you burn it off early, you end up dropping like a rock late in the stage. So it's going to be really important to save tire here, but we should have one pit stop for everybody left, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, if you guys were going to be good on fuel, but apparently not. But it looks like you're racked up. You're sitting comfortably in the top 10. You know, what kind of finish are you hoping for here tonight?
If I can stay top 10, I'll be honest, that'll be good enough for me. I don't feel that fast here.
All right, well, hey, we wish you the best of luck. Looks like you guys are racked up, ready to roll. Let's see if your teammate Frankie Barroso can get through the field after speeding, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's going to have a freaking blast back there.
Absolutely.
Keep the camera on him.
We will. All right, Jesse, best of luck.
Thank you.
There was Jesse Becker cruising in the second position. The pace truck is in. Field is set. Front row, Mealy on the inside. Tucker on the outside. Green flag in the air. Good jump there out front. Top three going to be Mealy, Tucker, and Essery. Meek's going to fall into fourth, and then we have Michael Kurdzalik. Folks, we're going to keep an eye on this guy right here. He is the star of the show. Unfortunately, sped down pit road. Frankie Barroso in 18th. Let's hop on board, watch him get through some of this traffic. Oh, you better watch out. Look who he's underneath or above. The 48 is in front of him. You better be careful, Frankie. Got one off pace there. That's the 41. So Frankie Barroso looking for a way around these guys, just nowhere to go. He's got to be patient. But you definitely can't mess around too much, because whenever we get yellows, that chalks away at the lap count, obviously. So Barroso going to look into the inside, try to make a pass or two as he continues to try and work through the field. But out front, we've got a battle for the race lead. Joseph Mealy trying to hold off Steve Tucker side by side, heading out of turns 1 and 2. Tucker on the bottom, Mealy on the top. Going through the corner, can Mealy hold that momentum on the top line? And here comes Essery in third, right behind him. At the line, Mealy leads that lap, but Tucker's still sitting there waiting. What's the 20 of Essery going to do? Does he dare to take him 3 wide here at the Monster Mile of Dover? Top on board, Chris Essery here in the third position, looking to the outside of Steve Tucker. You know, to me, it just seems like it's been so hard to pass on that bottom line. Even though this is kind of a one-lane racetrack on the bottom, whenever you go down low, it just seems like you can't get the run off the corner to finish these passes most of the time. So Mealy going to hold on to that lead. Let's drop back a little bit here. Josh Larson has worked himself up to 6th here. The 51 of Josh Larson in the 6th position out of Springfield, Missouri. And folks, don't look now, but William Robbins has worked himself up into the lead lap after some issues early on. Fell down a lap. Well, here he is sitting in the 13th spot. We'll see if he can work up to the field. Meanwhile, Frankie Barroso restarted 18th. He's up to 15th. Still a long way to go, trying to be patient. You got to take care of the tires here. You can't just roast them, you know, and try to get through the field ASAP. Meanwhile, Brian Samara in the 20th position. He is struggling here. That 53 is junked after getting ran over earlier by the 65 of Mitch Diamond. Side by side battling here. Lanfear in that 11th spot. Looking to make a pass on the 09, and he's side by side with the 13. I'm sorry, Lanfear is the 13. So he gets around the, oh, look out! 9 into the wall hard. Looks like Paul Shaw wrecked earlier, too. Let's take a look. Just stuffs it into the wall. Forgot there was a corner there. Goes down off the track. We're still clean and green, by the way. Just wanted to see what happened. Meanwhile, let's check out what the weapon's doing. Kerwin Marshall in the 23rd position. Looks like the 11 coming up, or I'm sorry, the 31 coming up behind him. These guys are battling for position. I believe they're both multiple laps down, so they're side by side in the back. 31 of Shelton looking to make the pass, and it looks like he's going to do so. I feel like the 48 of Marshall smokes the wall anytime there's a car around him. There's a car beside him. He's going to hit the wall, guaranteed. Let's check out the chat here, see what we got going. Dustin Corley, Connor Gerard, Danielle Taylor, all tuned in here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Nothing's changed out front. Still Joseph Mealy trying to hold off the one car of Steve Tucker. Boy, it's just so hard to pass. It kind of feels like Barroso. Oh, Larson disconnected or something? Josh Larson just disappeared. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think Josh Larson has disconnected. He's been gone for about half a lap now. We're going to see if he reappears for us. Oh, he has just reappeared. So he's still in the 12th position. Hopefully he gets that connection issue figured out. Taking a look here, Michael Landfair looks like Barroso going to make a pass on him for the 13th position. So that's going to move Landfair back to 14th. Slowly but surely, Frankie Barroso working through the field. Again, they're going to have to pit. You know, the midpoint of this pit cycle would put us around, let's say about 170-ish. Maybe I'd say 160 is the earliest you'll see anybody pit. 170 is kind of pushing it. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't think you're going to see any fuel-only stops. I feel like the tire fall off is just too much. You might see somebody try out 2 tires or something, but I think most of these guys are going to want to get 4 tires, get enough fuel, and be good to go the rest of the way. Meanwhile, Joseph Mealy, your race leader, in cruise control. He's led every lap of this race ever since Barroso sped down pit lane, taking advantage of the mistake from Barroso. Boy, it was just heartbreaking to hear the tone in Barroso's voice when he said he was caught speeding. He was the car to beat. I mean, he had this race in the bag. There's no reason for him to push the speed limit, but hey, that happens sometimes. When you're out there pushing the limits 24/7, it'll occasionally happen. But meanwhile, we talked to this guy earlier, Jesse Becker, up to the 6th position. He said he'd be happy with a top 10. Well, right now, sitting in 6th, that's feel pretty good. Might even have a shot at a top 5 run. Meanwhile, Barroso pulling up underneath the 51 of Josh Larson, making the pass for the 12th position. Let's hop on board with Frankie Barroso. Still pinned down the bottom, struggling to get around Larson here. Again, it's just so hard to pass on the bottom here at Dover. Coming out of the corner, you just get killed by by those guys up top. As you see, Barroso can't even get around Larson there for 12. Clean air has been the story up front here. Joseph Mealy continues to lead, and we got a 3-wide battle here for the 3rd position. Thomas Meeks making the pass. What a move from Meeks, and we just see some wall riding. Ugh, I can't spit it out. We see some wall riding there. I think that's Paul Shaw. Struggling here tonight. So Thomas Meeks up to the 3rd spot. Chris Essery battling Matthew Fleming for 4th. Let's pull up your HMS TV Hard Chargers. Currently in the 11th position, your Hard Charger. It's a 65. We watched some junk Brian Samara, and I want to personally thank him for that. If I was out there and I saw Brian Samara, I'd have done the same thing. So well done, Mitch. But he's gained 17 positions since the start of this race. Currently up to the 11th spot. Barroso goes back to work on Larson there on that bottom line. Struggling to get around him. Can he get a run off the corner here? Still stuck there pinned down on the bottom. Larson making him work. He's got to use his tires up to get around the 51. Looks like he's going to finally make the pass, maybe. No, he's not. Still side by side. Well, it's just crazy the difference. When you're out there in clean air, you're just untouchable, but now you're in traffic, you're kind of just stuck where you're at. So Joseph Mealy starting to pull away a little bit from Steve Tucker in 2nd. Thomas Meeks sitting in 3rd. Fleming 4th. Chris Esser rounds out your top 5. And folks, we're going to take a quick break, go HMS TV, side by side. We'll be right back. Larry McReynolds has a quick message for you first.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchison Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
And we're back here at the Harpoon Design 200 at the Dover Monster Mile. Just a matter of time. You're going to start seeing some guys head down pit road. Right now we're looking at some tire fall off right at about a second. 43 laps remain here. So again, I'm guessing these guys are going to want to pit around, I don't know, 160 to 170. I would probably want to go down about 165 or so. I just get 4 tires, not mess around. But we're going to see what these guys elect to do here as Joseph Neely continues to lead the race. Steve Tucker second. Thomas Meeks third. Fleming fourth, followed by Chris Essery rounding out your top 5. Been a clean race here so far tonight. Here comes Essery down pit road here on lap 160. So Essery from 5th going to be your first of the leaders to pit, it looks like. So that's going to open things up here. Now, if you're the race leader seeing Essery pit from 5th, does that change your strategy at all? My opinion, I think it should. I think you want to go down pit road. Again, you know, you have a second of tire fall off right now, and we know track position is key. So every lap you're out there, you're losing a second. And track position is really tough. As we can see, Frankie Barroso still only up to 10th. So he's really not getting through the field as quickly as we thought he would, even though he is the best car on the track. You don't want to pit too early, but again, you know, pitting around now would probably be pretty good. Let's pull up the HMS TV pit strategy board. These guys pit about 39 laps ago, make it 40. So right now would be the halfway point from when they last pit. I think that's a good call there from Chris Essery. He was in 5th place, didn't really have race-winning speed, but that could, you know, change things up for him. After this pit cycle, you're probably going to see that 20 car of Essery, maybe even in the lead. Will he be able to hold on with the older tires by the end of the race? We'll find out. Looks like Malarkey heads down pit road from the, I don't know, he's probably around 8th or so when he went down. And Michael Lamphere right behind him as well. Mitch Diamond goes down pit road too. Well, when are our leaders going to elect to head down? Joseph Mealy, your leader. If I'm Steve Tucker, I'm probably going down this next lap. I mean, he could potentially leapfrog Mealy just with one lap earlier of pitting. If he can get a good stop, head down now, pits one lap before Mealy, he could leave this pit cycle in the race lead. But we'll just have to wait it out, see how things work out front as Derek Fye in the 8th position, trying to run down William Robbins, who's worked up to 7th. Let's hop on board your race leader, Joseph Mealy. You know, one strategy could be stay out there as long as you can, maybe go down, get you 2 tires at the end, but I'm just not sure what the right call is. I kind of feel like 4 would be the way to go, especially if you're out front already. Now, if I'm sitting in 10th or so, maybe try it out, but if you're one of these race leaders, I don't think you'd try anything too fancy. And here comes Esri there in that 20 car. Look at the difference of these fresh tires. He's just blowing by these race leaders like they're nothing. So let's compare last laps here. Chris Esri, his last lap was a 24 flat. Joseph Mealy's last lap, 24.5. And that's Esri going through traffic and stuff too. So honestly, only half a second difference at the moment. So we'll just wait this out, see how it works out. Who's going to be the next one down pit road? Looks like Josh Larson is down pit road right now. Dennis Ansman, Frankie Barroso coming down. I believe I heard on the radio William Robbins going to go down pit road next time around as well. So 33 laps remain. Here comes your race leader, Joseph Mealy. He's going to give up the lead to Tucker. So Mealy down pit road, Meeks down pit road, Fleming down pit road, as well as Robbins, Fye. So there's all your leaders. It's going to move Jesse Becker into 2nd. So Steve Tucker stays out there. What is he going to do? Is he going to come down this time? Well, Tucker stays out there. I'm not too sure about this strategy here for Tucker. We'll see if it plays out with 31 laps left to go, but just remember, he's losing a lot of time staying out there so long. But Jesse Becker, he's going to play the long game here. I don't blame Jesse for trying something different. He was sitting in 6th, though, before the cycle started. One strategy would be just to stay out there till the end, and hopefully you get a caution and pin all these guys a lap down. But it's tough to count on a caution out here. While Tucker continues to lead, here comes William Robbins off of pit road. 30 laps remain here. Steve Tucker, your race leader. Last night, a big night for Steve Tucker with Motor City Racing. He was in the GT3 car last night, and he brought home a points championship. That is our Sunday night IMSA series we broadcast right here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Steve Tucker was crowned a champion last night in a GT3 car. So right now you have Tucker, Becker, Samara, and Burchett, the only cars left on the lead lap due to not pitting so far. Well, at this point, Tucker's kind of buried his grave here. He's going to have to lay in it. So he just probably needs to stay out there until he's basically out of fuel. Maybe do 2 tires or try something. But if he heads down for 4 right now, he's going to be pretty far back. But we appreciate you folks tuning in here on the world's #1 streaming service. You're watching the Wheels America Racing Cup Series. Harpoon Design 200 at the Monster Mile at Dover. Monday night racing with the Flim Dogs Racing League. Here comes Tucker down pit road. So race leader Steve Tucker heading down right now. Well, he's going to have lost a lot of ground once this pit cycle ends. So that's going to move the lead on over to bump and run Jesse Becker on a pit strategy call. I'm not sure it's a good one, but Jesse Becker still out there leading this race. Boy, this might be his first lap led in any league in about a year for Jesse Becker. Here he comes down pit lane. So he stays out, leads the lap. Jesse Becker tries to do the Ty Dillon pit stop. Let's stay tuned right here as he heads down pit road. Brian Burchett behind him. Is he going to come down? Nope, not yet. So there's Becker down pit road, going to pass over the lead. Let's see if Jesse overshoots his pit stall like he normally does. You know, pit road speed is only 35 miles an hour. And he did not overshoot his pit stall. Well done, Jesse. So new race leader, Brian Burchett, on the long strategy. He is out there. Old junk tires. Brian Burchett, your race leader. That moves Dakota Collins. Phil Collins' nephew in the 11 car. He is in second on the pit strategy call. And then Thomas Meeks in third. When did Meeks pit? Yeah, Thomas Meeks did pit. So he kind of, I guess he pit back around when Chris Esser, I don't know, who knows. All I know is he has leapfrogged up to third. He's going to be your race leader once these top two elect to head down pit road. So a good pit strategy so far for Thomas Meeks. Can he hold on? Has Joseph Mealy right behind him. That's going to be the battle for the race lead eventually. So Meeks gets around Collins on his old tires before the pit stop. So that moves Meeks into second. Again, Brian Burchett out here on these old tires. He's probably just going to stay out there till he's out of fuel. Hope for a caution, basically, is his plan. Let's take a look right here. Side-by-side battle. This is going to eventually be for the race lead. Joseph Mealy on the bottom. Thomas Meeks tries to hold them off. Meeks up high. Mealy on the bottom. Door to door. These guys continue to battle for what will eventually become the race lead. Looks like that high lane going to prevail once again. Mealy going to have to settle behind Thomas Meeks. Then behind them, Steve Tucker, after pitting pretty late there in the run. Tucker right there with him. So honestly, Tucker has to feel pretty good about his chances. I'm not sure if he did two tires or what the deal was there. Let's take a look at the pit stop time. Yeah, folks, I'm thinking Tucker did a two-tire stop. So his stop was a 9.87 second pit stop. Well, Mealy around him 14.7. So I don't know. I could be wrong. Could totally be wrong. All I know, though, is Steve Tucker definitely has some speed right now. Whether he's got two tires or four tires, he is hooked up, trying to get around Joseph Mealy. So Brian Burchett continues to lead the race out front on the alternate pit strategy. Taking a look. He pit 60 laps ago. I'm not sure how much longer he'll be able to make it on fuel. Probably not much. Definitely not going to be able to make it to the end of this race with 18 laps left to go. Tucker has got around Mealy. So Tucker into third for the time being, trying to run down the 55 of Thomas Meeks. Can Meeks hold on and bring home his first win of the season? Bones does in the chat. Been a while since we've seen you, Bones. Appreciate you tuning in, spending your Monday night right here. And folks, a big shout out tomorrow, whether you work or not, Veterans Day. As a fellow veteran, we appreciate all the veteran service out there. Be sure to thank any nearby veterans you know. That is tomorrow. But Brian Burchett continues to lead the race out front with these old junk tires. How much longer can the 54 of Burchett last out here? Oh, look out. The 48 of Marshall tries to junk him. Kerwin Marshall tried to come up the track and junk your race leader. Boy, that was a tight one there. A little scary. Kerwin Marshall. He's out here for blood. But meanwhile, let's take a look right here. What's going to be a battle for the race lead eventually. Meeks trying to hold off Tucker, and he's going to do so. 15 laps remain. Thomas Meeks trying to hold off Steve Tucker. Tucker pit a little late on that strategy. Can he find a way around Thomas Meeks? We're on board with Steve Tucker. Currently a battle for second. Again, Burchett, your race leader, he's going to have to pit. Big run down the backstretch. Tucker looks to the inside. Side-by-side battle. Can Steve Tucker finish the pass? Off the corner, outside lane, always gets speed. Nope, Tucker's going to clear him. Boy, that could have been the race-winning move for Steve Tucker. Can he hold on? Just a matter of time before we see this 54 machine of Burchett take the hard left down pit road. Looks like Joseph Mealy trying to find a way around. Oh, we got Matthew Fleming there as well. So Fleming, Meeks, and Mealy battling for what now is the third position. Fleming looks to the inside of Meeks for third, and it looks like he's going to take the spot. Slide job. Thomas Meeks into third. These guys racing pretty hard right here from third to fifth. Side-by-side battle for fourth right now. Meeks falls into line into fifth. Oh, look out. We got one sideways and hard into the wall. Who is that? I think that is the 00 maybe. No, it's not. Gabriel Garcia, he called it quits again. I don't think Gabriel Garcia is going to finish a race all season long. If you're a fan of Gabriel, he's done for the night. So 10 laps left to go. Brian Burchett's still out here. This guy must have a hybrid motor or something. He's been out here forever, it feels like. Let's hop on board. Well, we see him holding the clutch, and he is fuel saving, folks. The thing is, though, there's 9 laps left. He's going so slow right now. I'm not even sure he can hold off Tucker on speed, even if the caution doesn't come out. We'll just have to wait and see. Can Burchett find some magic and make this thing last to the end? He pit 71 laps ago. There's 8 laps left. Can he make it 79 laps on fuel? I'm honestly shocked he's made it this far, folks. We're going to hop back on board. Your race leader, Brian Burchett. Listen in. Holding the clutch in. Slowly on the gas. Leaving it in 5th gear. Saving as much fuel as he can as Tucker's reeling him in quick, folks. 4-second gap between him and Steve Tucker. And Tucker is gaining about 9/10 of a second every lap, it looks like. But remember, Tucker has some traffic in front of him as well. So let's see if he can get around these guys to work up to Burchett. I'm still not sure Burchett can make it on fuel, but we're starting to run out of time here with just 6 laps left to go. Brian Burchett making that fuel tank go as far as it can. Top on board here, Steve Tucker, trying to get around these lappers. Oh, gosh. Tucker gets into him hard. Almost junks him. That's one way to pass him. Hey, if you're a lap car, you're in the way of these guys trying to win a race. All is fair game there. Michael Kurdzalik in the 41 almost got dumped by Steve Tucker. Tucker could not waste any more time behind the lap cars because he knows he needs to run down Burchett just in case he somehow magically finds the fuel to make it. Right now, a 2-second gap with 4 laps left to go. I don't think Burchett can hold him off. I think at this point, he's just trying to make it for a decent finish. See him still holding that clutch in, going as far as he can. Steve Tucker reeling him in quick. Let's hop on board once again with Steve Tucker. You can see how quickly he's reeling in your race leader, Brian Burchett. There goes Tucker to the bottom. Looks like he's going to make the pass. Really nothing Burchett can do. Kind of a miracle he's made it this far. 2 laps left to go. How has Brian Burchett made it on fuel this far? With a new race leader, Steve Tucker's going to lead his first laps of the, well, that's not true. Guess he's led 7 laps somehow. I don't no clue when. But Steve Tucker, he is your race leader. Out of turns 3 and 4, white flag in the air, no cautions to worry about here. Last lap around the Monster Mile, Steve Tucker trying to bring home the win. Down the backstretch for the final time, into turns 3 and 4. The fans are on their feet, off their seats. They are ready for the checkered flag in the air. Steve Tucker wins the Harpoon Design 200. Second place goes to Matthew Fleming. Third place going to go to Brian Burchett, who makes it on fuel. What a miracle run for Brian Burchett. Wow, incredible. So we got Burchett, Fleming, and Tucker, your top 3. We're going to get them in for an interview. But first, we're going to watch Steve Tucker burn it down here at the Monster Mile of Dover. Well, it's good to see a Harpoon Design paint scheme park it in victory lane here in the Harpoon Design 200 with the Wheels America Racing Cup Series. So Tucker, I confirmed he did take 2 tires there. I thought so. But we'll confirm with him. Well, let's get these guys in for a quick interview. Let's find them here, folks. Give me a moment. All right, we're going to start things off with Brian Burchett bringing home the 3rd place finish. Brian, Blake up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I do, yes. How's it going? Sorry, I was trying to transfer over here. Didn't have time.
That's all good, man. Hey, incredible run there at the end. I don't know how you made it on fuel. You know, how close were you?
I ran out of fuel out of 4. I screwed up. I knew if I pit that last caution, I stayed out for that last caution, I would have won that race easily, unfortunately. I couldn't muster up enough fuel. I just ran out with the. I'll take it though. That's great. I had to flip the script. I wasn't going to be fast enough. Got to the race late, didn't practice, and I'm pretty happy with the result. I was hoping for a late caution, but I'll take what I got.
You know, so that last green flag run, you know, your estimated fuel. How many laps were you able to save there?
I think I had to save 6 or 7.
Wow.
Yeah, at least. So I started just lifting early, and then I started clutching the second half of that run. And, yeah, it was close. It was fun.
Yeah, that will definitely works out for you. You know, you didn't bring home the win, but putting it on the podium has to feel pretty good in the Harpoon Design 200 at the Monster Mile. Before you head out, though, you got any shout-outs or anything for the fans watching at home?
Shout out to you guys, to the guys who run the league, and to RSR, my team.
Absolutely. And real quick, you know, I kind of thought Chris Essery, he pit at a good time there. I'm not sure what happened on his stop, but it just looks like he didn't really get the results he was hoping for.
I think he pit a little too early and ran out of tire, but I know he had some tire damage and got into something. I don't know what happened. I just know he had some issues.
All right. Well, hey, congratulations once again putting it on the podium here tonight.
Thank you very much.
That was Brian Burchett, your 3rd place finisher here tonight. Time to bring in your 2nd place finisher, Matthew Fleming. Let's get him in here. One moment. Matthew, Blake up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Hey, what a run there. You were running solid all night long, but there in the last run, looks like you found some speed and was able to get up to the 2nd position.
Yeah, track position was tough. There's so many times. Yeah, I was top 10, but you just could not pass. I had no drive off the bottom, so I had to try to work the top, start diamonding corners. But yeah, I think we had a good pit stop um, on the second stage caution there, and it got us up in better position. And just overall, the top five racing was so even, so to speak, that it was easier to save tire. And it is about time I get up here and get a good finish. Took this long to get here. It's crazy. I wish I would have had the speed elsewhere, but man, yeah, this one feels good. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And to confirm how hard it was to pass, I mean, we saw Frankie Barroso. He just dominated this race until that second to last pit stop. He goes to the back, and he kind of went nowhere. So he went from just dominating to kind of just stuck where he was.
That's good. I like that. Frank and I are, we're friends and everything. We've been, forever. And seeing him struggle coming up through the field, that makes me happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love you, Frankie.
But hey, great job out there tonight, bringing home the second place finish. Weren't able to park in victory lane, but next closest thing, able to bring home second. Before you head out, though, you got any shout-outs or anything?
Of course. I want to shout out the sponsors here. We got the Flem Dogs Auto Repair on the car, Wills America, Southern Diesel Solutions, San Antonio Karting Complex, Oasis Sim Racing, Wise Out Wash. Shout out to our league sponsor, Wheels America Racing. Tonight's sponsor, Harpoon Design. Shout out to you up there in the booth. Always do a fabulous job. And then shout out to Steve Tucker, getting another victory here. And overall, I want to shout out the whole league here. Who would have thought 200 laps at Dover, and we only had one caution for an accident. The other two were for the stage. That blows my mind. If you would have told me that coming in here, I would have called you a liar. But that is damn impressive. I'm so glad of the group we got here.
I definitely agree with you. I did not expect this clean of a race. And like you said, the one caution, it came on a restart too. So just clean racing all through the field. But again, congratulations, Matthew Fleming, your second place finish here at Dover.
Thank you, sir.
So there's your second place finisher, Matthew Fleming. But it is time to bring in the star of the show. Gets the job done here tonight. Steve Tucker, Blake in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what a run from you there. You're able to get the job done. I was kind of worried you pit a little late there, but I think you got two tires and it ended up working out for you.
Yeah, we were kind of a mess strategy-wise tonight. I mean, in dirty air, the entire day was just so bad. I couldn't get around Mealy to save my life. Majority of that race. But yeah, Mealy came down, took his tires. I was going to stay out in case a yellow came out because I just don't want to. That's what bit me last week, actually. He's coming down too early. But I said, you know what? I kind of fumbled the bag a bit. I said, okay, 6 laps after Mealy, came down, I came down myself. I chose two right side tires because I'm like, it's like 25-ish laps to go. Why not? We'll just try it. And it worked. I mean, I came out, definitely lost some time to Mealy through that exchange. But, I mean, came out. He was in traffic. I was in traffic. I got around him relatively easily. I'm not honestly sure how, but lap traffic might have played a role into that. Meeks, passed him. I think it was Burchett who was trying to maybe make it on fuel, but he more or less let me go, it looked like. So definitely a race I should not have won. I mean, Frankie was dominant, had his, I think, a speeding penalty in the pits. So, I mean, sometimes you got to just put yourself in position to win these things. And Dover is probably second worst track for me. As far as NASCAR circuit and track. So I'll take it. Good, clean race. And really impressed by the boys here.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the track position was important, and definitely so. I mean, we saw Frankie when he went to the back. I mean, he just really couldn't go anywhere. It just seemed impossible to pass on that bottom lane.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks, and for the folks at home, last week in Darlington, this is a place where it's just track position means everything. Dirty air is so huge and so bad here, even more than Darlington. Darlington, you can kind of move lanes. Dover's kind of a bottom feeder track for the most part. You can kind of diamond the corners, but it doesn't work as well. It kills the right front tire, which adds to the dirty air. But overall, yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was Frankie back there. That's unfortunate for him, but once you're back there in the mess, you just cannot get out back to the front. It's just so hard to pass, so hard to really do much of anything.
Absolutely. And again, you mentioned Brian Burchett there. He saved 6 laps of fuel in that last green flag run. I don't even know how he was able to make it.
Pretty wild, man. I don't know. I mean, it's a good call. I mean, it definitely, if it would have worked out for him, I think that would have been sustainable. But yeah, it wasn't quite there for him. But I'm sure it'll happen once in a while, or coming up soon for him.
Absolutely. And he even said that so we had back-to-back yellows. If he would have came down pit road after the second yellow, which he didn't, he would have definitely made it and might have been able to pull off the win. But nonetheless, you end up getting the job done. It has to feel good here. It's the Harpoon Design 200, and with Harpoon Design on the car, you park it in victory lane. And with that, I'll let you go ahead and mention your shout-outs.
Yeah, definitely. Harpoon Design on the hood, on the race sponsor, on the YouTube. We love it. So yeah, big shout out to Brantley from harpoondesign.com. Does all kinds of paints on iRacing for mainly cup cars and trucks and whatnot. He'll do some specialties here and there, dirt and whatnot, but I think it's over 10,000 paints on trading paints. Won multiple awards. Again, trophy room just stacked. We're starting to rent out U-Hauls and all kinds of different things to house these things. But it's good stuff. Go and check them out. Reasonably priced and always top quality.
Absolutely. Well, hey, once again, congratulations after bringing home the GTD championship last night in the Motor City Racing League. You park it in victory lane here at Dover in the Wheels America Racing Cup Series.
Yeah, it's been one hell of a weekend. We're going to just keep this momentum up. I think next week might be Pocono, and I could be wrong on that. Pocono is usually a pretty strong track for me. A lot of drafting at that track. That's going to be kind of the same thing, but in a much bigger scale. Kind of tough to pass, but drafting, dirty air, etc. But a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, hey, congratulations, Steve Tucker, tonight's winner in the Harpoon Design 200 at the Monster Mile. So there you have it, folks. That'll conclude our interviews here tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. Be sure before you head out, click that like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel. World's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. You just watched the Harpoon Design 200 with the Wheels America Racing Cup Series. That's going to round things out for us. Blake Hutchinson up here in the booth. As always, thanks again for tuning in.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
42 right there with him. Smokes him. Oh my goodness! Oh! The whole field is junk. It's a parking lot. They door slam each other. Checkered flag in the air. It's gonna be too close to call. Oh, he just got smoked. Oh my goodness! Turned. He got dumped in IMSA racing. Caution is out. Oh! He's dead. Toward each other with their chunks in.